Welcome to Candid Conversations. I am your co-host, Ken Canion, a.k.a. Coach Ken, a.k.a. the doctor, a.k.a. the professor. I'm alongside my co-host, the very lovely, a.k.a. Simply Ned.
Hey, I like to call you Diddy. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing well. I like those earrings there.
Thank you, sir. You purchased these.
I know that's right. I'm a simp. I'm a simp like a motherfucker.
You just a sucker for love. Sucker for love.
It used to be sucker for love. Now it's simp for love.
Sucker for your love.
All right, so tonight's show is going to be a good one. Ooh, Ned.
Okay.
I got something good for you. Last week, we talked about, do you remember? I mean, we done did a lot of podcasts. Is your memory fading?
I don't remember what I talked about yesterday. I had a full week.
Well, I'll tell you what, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Why you always put me on the spot like that? Your dad was like that.
Because I'm just like that.
Yeah, your dad was like, now, if you go to the store, you what? And I'd be like, at the store? Like, I don't know.
He'd be like, no, you drive the car. So, look, y'all, first off, before we get started, I want to say, hey, if you like this kind of content, we are just a couple who, we call it Candid Conversations because we believe you can be real. We're going to be raw and we're going to be relatable. We want to show people how to have a good relationship, a really good relationship, not a perfect relationship, y'all. And we discuss a lot of issues that a lot of y'all comment on, and some of y'all you may not agree with. That's fine. But that's what this is all about. Mm-hmm. Creating dialogue so that we can continue along those lines.
Yes.
So tonight's show, all right, we won't talk about last week then, since your memory.
Yeah, you tell me, and it'll jog my memory.
No?
You don't remember either, so that's that is. So you try to put it on me, Jaquan.
No. I'm not trying to put it on you. I'm just saying, the week before we talked, 2 weeks in a row, 1 week we talked about what? Your freak.
What was your freak level?
Your freak level. The next week we talked about know your role. You remember?
I do now.
Hey, but I love to have you on here because you offer a perspective. I call that country wisdom. Mm-hmm. And that country wisdom, boy, it be for real. And a lot of people like you. Some people think you look crazy, though. Some dudes think you look crazy.
And I am, and I can be. So you dead on it.
But tonight, I want to talk about something that has been prevalent in our relationship. Mm-hmm. And it is to support or not to support.
To support or not to support.
In a relationship, Ned, a lot of times people feel supported or they don't feel supported. They feel like, and then when they're in a relationship, they feel like their spouse or their partner should automatically support their dreams. Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to talk about a letter that we got, but I want to get your take on it first because, in our relationship, you have supported most of the things that I've done, good, bad, or ugly. I've supported you, the things you've done, but we've established a culture of support. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't do it that way. But we're going to talk about tonight when supporting you means I got to lose me or change who I am. Mm-hmm. What you
when
think?
Supporting you means I lose me.
Yes. When support.
Why you? That's good. I like that. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Okay, so I'm going to get into it with when supporting you means I got to lose me. I've got a letter, and this is a deep one because you know what? I'm Coach Ken, and I'm smart as hell. Right? I say that all the time. But this almost stumped me.
What?
It's almost. Why are you looking like that?
I'm just saying, for you to be stumped, and then for you to say that you were stumped.
Was that like a little shade?
No. No, I'm just like, what is it? Read it.
Okay, I'm going to read it to you. All right, here we go. All right. Ooh. Dear Coach Ken, I am truly in a delicate situation and I don't know what to do. I have been in a relationship for 3 years with a good man. We have been talking about getting married soon. We both lived in North Carolina. However, recently he inherited $1 million house and a great deal of money from a relative who lives in Dallas, Texas. He is moving to Texas. He wants me to go with him. The problem is, number one, I love North Carolina. And prior to this money, we were going to build a life in North Carolina. I just passed the bar exam, okay, to become a lawyer. And it's always been my dream to be an attorney and own my own firm. I'm well on my way to fulfilling that dreams. It means so much to me because I promised my mother I would see it through on her dying bed. Okay. His dream to move to Texas now and become a real estate mogul. That's his dream now. It has just become his dream due to the current circumstances. All right. But he feels I am not supporting him. I am scared if I go, I will not be happy. But I don't want to lose him. What should I do? Should I go and compromise my dream and embrace his dream, or not go and embrace my own dream? Ooh-wee!
So
I'm going to take my glasses off.
She's passed the bar in North Carolina.
In North Carolina. She passed. That's a very good distinction you're about to say. She passed the bar in North Carolina. She wanted to start her own firm in North Carolina. She told her mother on her dying bed that I'm going to finish law school. I'm going to start a firm, and I'm going to help people, represent people who can't represent themselves. I mean, it's deep rooted in her. Deep rooted in her. What would you coach her to do, Coach?
I would say this is a situation where, just for me, coaching somebody, you can always support somebody's dream, but never at your own expense. And this is something that you have worked extremely hard for. And I say put the oxygen mask over your face. Save yourself. Do what's best for you. He may get to Texas and is there for 6 months and hate Texas. You have something sure to an almost or a maybe.
Right.
And so I would say, stay your course.
But now he just got. I'm just gonna say
he does have $1 million.
He got a $1 million home and a lot of money.
He got $1 million home and a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know what is the condition of the home, which none of that matters. It's $1 million home. Well, it does matter, but it's $1 million home.
Right.
But he could lease that house or Airbnb that house and make money on it. He can be a real estate mogul in North Carolina. I mean, the thing of it is you take something, this is a dream. This is an opportunity. It's a difference.
Oh, okay. How so?
Because this is something that she has worked for. She has gone countless hours, school, staying up at night, and then somebody died and they gave you an opportunity. You get what I'm saying? It's a dream. That's a dream versus an opportunity, not necessarily a dream to me.
Okay,
that's net on that.
That's net on that. Audience, what do you think?
But what would you do, Ken? Well, what did you do? What did you tell him?
Here's what I said. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you the tips tonight on how to navigate when your partner doesn't necessarily support your dream. Doesn't mean that they don't support you.
Right.
It just means that they may not be supporting your dream at the time. Now, go
I
ahead.
have a question though. It's not necessarily with this. I wouldn't think that he wasn't supporting her dream or she wasn't supporting
But
his
that's the
dream.
way it appears to
That
the
is
person.
the way it appears. And that's how I guess one would feel. But it's like a dream versus, I can't call that a dream. I'm just not going to call it a dream. It's an
Well,
opportunity.
how come you can't call it a dream? The truth is just because the dream just popped up doesn't mean it's any less of a dream, because he's like, I have this opportunity. Now I have a dream to become a real estate mogul. And according to her.
Now, was he talking about being a real estate mogul 2 months ago when his uncle was still breathing?
According to her, he's always dabbled in the real estate, always wanted to be in real estate.
Okay.
You know, he didn't never, obviously real estate requires money, credit, whatever. They just weren't there yet. And so this opportunity, as you say, came. And so now that dream can be realized. And so now.
In North Carolina.
No, in Texas is where his dream. I'm saying his dream can be realized because he always wanted to do.
Well, if you were going to
estate.
build a we're going to live in North Carolina. We're going to get these little couple of houses on Park Avenue, Monopoly. But then all of a sudden, you got this opportunity in Texas, and so now your dream is in Texas when we've been building a dream here in North Carolina.
But does it matter when the dream starts? You start dreaming it.
Where you dreaming it? It's going to matter here. Why can't he dream that dream where he is?
Because the money,
in the area that
money and the house that he's going to inherit.
Come on now, it ain't like you can only spend the money in Texas.
But what I'm saying, everything that he wants, it's there in Texas. And so what I'm saying, audience, what do y'all think?
Audience, tell me. I want to hear from the ladies. I don't want to hear from the men. What do you think? Do you think that? Do you think this is a dream for him, or is it an opportunity? And who do you think is slighting who? As far as not supporting the other's dream.
Do you want me to hear what I told her?
Yes.
So here's what I said. I said, number one, I said, you're thinking about marrying this guy? Yes. She said she loves him. They're not married though. And I said this. I said, do you want to look up one day and look at your husband, who may be your husband in 5 years, and begin to resent him because you did not pursue what was in your heart to pursue? She was like, no, I don't. I said, because if you deny yourself, the possibility of resenting him will be prevalent. And then I said, and I'm going to give y'all all the things that I gave her tonight. But I said to her, let's say this. Let's say the opportunity did not arise. And what would he have been doing? He said he would have been helping me build this business. And he was very clear about that. He said, but the opportunity did arise. And I said, if you go today, based on where you feel, not potential. A lot of times people marry on potential. They do things on potential. But the way you feel today, if you go, what's going to happen? She says, I'm going to resent my husband or my future husband. I said, now, if you already know that, why would you do it? Why would you do it? Because, and I explained to her, people do things for one or two reasons. People either do things because it's going to give them pleasure or they want to avoid pain. Okay? Now, and if you go, it may give him pleasure. Yeah. I said, but here's the thing. But will you be avoiding pain? More than likely not. Because what she said was, the money didn't mean anything to me. Big house doesn't mean anything. My dream. And so what I said was, I simply said this. If your dream means that much to you, you either work that out with him. Maybe you come later, maybe you don't. But you can't. The last thing you want to do when you're 80 years old and you sitting in a rocking chair and you have lived a life of regrets. That is the worst thing. I always tell people, how do you know you lived a life of regrets? Because you said, I wish I would have. When I go, I ain't going to say I wish I would have.
Yeah, I want to go very empty with nothing left in me. Not an ounce of potential. I want to use it all.
Yeah. And so that's what I told her. Now, at the end of the day, I can't tell you what decision to make, but I can tell you how you're going to feel if you make it based on what I'm hearing from you.
So you said you don't know what she did?
Right. As of right now, she is still confused.
This is something new.
Yeah. She's still, but she said she's leaning towards staying. And then you got to think about it. The other part of it is her mother who died. She made her a promise on that deathbed. That matters.
And also, what she's done already matters. The time and the effort, the studying, passing the bar. Like, that means something. That means something.
So I got to ask you this. I'm going to go, well, before I ask you this, I want to talk about story time.
Okay.
Story time. I don't know if you know why me and you got together. Why I decided that I wanted you to be my girl first.
Because I had food stamps.
That's part of it. Only part of it. But story time. I remember, and I think I've told you this, my ex-girlfriend, not going to mention her name, but my ex-girlfriend, we were dating, and I'd never forget because I wanted to start my own business. And I never forget, she said to me, of course, later on, she said she never said this, but she said, and I quote, the reason I know she said it, because it hurt so bad when she said it. She said, you just like my uncle. Want to start all these businesses and none of them ain't going to work. Wow. I remember that. That day, there was something in me. I don't know what it was, but there was something in me that said, you know what? I don't know what it is. I don't know if I resented her. I don't know what it was, but there was something in me that died in the relationship that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, and so I get to me and you. The reason why I wanted to be with you is because you supported everything I did. And I want you to tell the audience the story. Even the dumb stuff, don't it?
I remember the first business that you came to me with was this, and this was 30-something years ago.
Oh, yeah, it was a long time.
When they used to have cigarettes and vending machines, she was like, look, I'm going to get these cigarette lighters and I'm going to put them in the vending machines. And you were going to put something on. What was going to be on them?
No, I was going to put them in the vending machines. No, I was just going to, I don't know, was anything.
You were going to put something on them. I don't know what.
Like a logo or
something? Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah. But you were so, like, to me, it was not a great idea because the Book of Matches came out with the cigarettes. It wasn't a good idea. But your excitement and you were so, it was just, it made the way that you were excited about it, it made me think, that might work. Somebody might not like matches, but
cigarettes came out with the matches with them.
Yeah. But see, you didn't smoke, so you didn't.
I didn't know, right?
Oh, little Book of Matches was shoot out,
Oh, I did not know that. Wow,
but you were going, and so you had you did a whole business plan, and I couldn't type. I had to pay somebody to type it because you was like, "Could you type?" I was like, "Yeah."
I
But that
remember
was
that.
that was some years early, so I had to pay somebody to type it. But
Wow, I didn't know you did that. Okay.
that just the way you were so excited about it, and you had done your research, and
Obviously, I didn't do enough damn research.
well,
If I ain't
well,
know a book of magic shot out with the damn cigarettes.
well, it looked like research to me. But that was something that was so sexy to me. I remember, and you've done a million businesses since then, or
I have done
thought
quite a
of
few.
a million since then.
Some worked, some didn't.
And I remember talking to my dad, and one of the things that he admired about you is your freedom not to be afraid. He loved the fact that you would. He's like that Ken, and he ain't scared. And one day he gonna do something. He gonna stick.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess Mr. AJ would probably say done stuck.
Yeah.
You know. But tell me this.
Yes.
What made you support me through those things? Now, some of the businesses ideas weren't good like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were good.
Yeah.
And some of them I made a great deal of money from. Some of them I didn't.
But a lot of them you did.
But why? What made you say, I'm going to support you? And I've supported you in what you've done and comedy and the things you've done and what you do. And we're going to talk about that. But what made you, what made you say?
What made me support?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't married.
It was hard not to support because of the way that you went about everything. Like, I've said this to you before. Your intelligence is something that's a turn on to me. And so
So at night, all I got to do is say the square root of 4 is 2. You're going to be like, okay.
and backing open. No, I didn't say that. But like, it just was, that was something that was sexy to me. Number one, I love the fact that you were a thinker. I love the fact that you were a visionary. Like, all of those things. It wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just one thing. You are you all right?
Huh?
Feel like you fighting back a yawn.
No, I was. You know what?
But it was it was so many different things. I can't just put it on one thing. It was a package. It was something that I'd never seen before. I always seen men get a job and work hard. They're 9 to 5 or they're 7 to 3 or whatever. And you were different. And I love that. But most of all, you were very believable. It was easy for me to support you because it was easy for me to support you because of the way that you did business. Like I was your cheerleader. To me.
No, I get it. I mean, and the thing is, what made me support you? Because I'll never forget that time when you told me, number one, you're going to go to beauty school. And then, do you remember when you had quit beauty school? I didn't know you had quit.
For 1 week.
And I was like, you ain't been to class. Why? You ain't been to class. What's going on? I didn't even know you had quit.
You didn't know that till many years later.
I was like, when I said you ain't been to class, I ain't seen you in class. You in class. And what did you go back after that?
I did go back. And I'm going to tell you what made me not or stop. A family member said to me, what you going to beauty school for? You ain't going to do nothing with it. And I was so used to people speaking or allowing people's thoughts of me to become my reality of myself or how I felt for myself. And so a family member had just said that, and I was like, why am I going? And I did stop. I stopped. And I remember being at your apartment and the fact that you cared. It was like I went back to not disappoint you. That's crazy. It wasn't about disappointing myself or anybody else. I just had never felt that before.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And then after you went to beauty school, you ended up building a great clientele, and
But even that was something that you helped me with. Like, that's something that we've always done, even though we weren't married then.
Right.
I remember when you talked me into doing this brochure, and that brought me so much business.
I forgot about that, bro.
Yes, like you set up the photo shoot.
I forgot about that.
I got models. You found the places that we shot.
Oh,
and I
snap.
got that's what helped me build my business. And so this has always been a give kind of thing as far as support with both of us.
And then you became this comedian. People don't know that. Look at this podcast. You perform every week somewhere.
I don't know why I don't put that out there a lot.
I don't know why you don't. And you an actress. You've been on like TV One, BET, Geico commercials. People don't know that shit about you.
No.
I'm gonna start saying it. I'm gonna start saying that stuff. Yeah, because I remember I used to be like, okay. I remember when you was talking about you gonna be a comedian.
Now, that one thing I cannot do is dream out loud in this house. If I dream out loud, you are going to push me into it. And so I remember I was like, when I shared with you I was going to do comedy, and I sat on it for about 6 months. And I remember you were like, "Hey, what happened to you being a comedian?"
I remember that too.
Dog.
I like, didn't you tell me you was gonna do comedy?
And so I had, at that point, when you said that, I knew I didn't have another choice but to go, because I knew you weren't going to let me not do it.
Wow. And so for us, it's been easy. For other people, it is not so easy supporting people if they've never done it before, and if they've never felt that other people,
right.
And so what I wanted to do, I wrote up something just to help people.
Okay.
I always do this. And my thing is, how do you get people, how do you approach someone supporting you and you supporting them? How do you approach it? Because it can literally destroy a relationship. All right, when you feel you're not supported, and the other person may feel the same way. They might feel that they're not supported, or they might feel that they are supporting you. But so I
oh, wow, you just said something.
Go ahead.
They might feel like they're supporting you. So how do you, when somebody feels as though they're because you and I have been in that place before, where you've needed more from me, or I've needed more from you, and the other person feel like, look, I'm doing everything but cartwheel splits. And so how do you get more out of a person without them feeling like they're being dogged out? Or
I'm going to show.
Okay.
Number one, you communicate openly about how you're feeling so that the seed of resentment doesn't get planted.
Explain.
So if I say to you, and I've said this to you, I felt like that I wanted you to do more. But here's the thing. I was asking you to do something really you weren't able to do. Because you remember I was like, I want you to handle business like I do. And the truth is, it wasn't until we did communicate. We had some contentious days.
Yes, we did.
And I was like, I remember I used to be like, damn, why you just can't, you let the sale get away. You remember I used to be looking like this. You let the sale get away? Why you just can't be aggressive? And you like, I don't handle business like you. I don't want to be aggressive. And we would be arguing back and forth. Now that I know how to communicate a lot better, I would have said, here's what I'm feeling. Here's why I'm feeling it. What I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. Can we talk about it? That little question at the end creates dialogue to go deeper. Doesn't mean we're going to agree. People think that to get support, people have to agree. That's not true. I don't have to, and also support comes in many ways. Support comes in many forms.
Yes. I remember one time, and I don't remember what you were doing, and I said, I don't agree with what you're doing, but I'm behind you. Like,
I remember when you said that. I was like, you don't agree with what I'm doing, but you behind me. What the hell is that?
Like, listen, what was that song I was listening to you, listening to today by Gladys Knight?
Love overboard.
I won't know. I'd rather live in his world than live without him in mine.
Oh, yeah.
And so, look,
sing it, baby.
Listen, but wherever you go, listen, whether I agree or not, I'm with you.
Yeah, but we married now, though.
Yeah, but
we were married now.
We were married then, and I said, I don't agree with this, but I'm behind you. I'm going to support you. You didn't agree with us
turning this room.
I did not.
And look what it done did for us.
I did not, but I didn't stop it.
But that's you got me. You
did not, and that's actually, it just goes into what you were saying. You don't have to agree with somebody to support them.
That is so true.
So that just goes into what you're saying. I never agreed on this room. Like I just did not think it was a good idea, but it was something that you desired, and so I supported you in it.
And that leads me to point 2. Mm-hmm. Point 2 is validate the person's feelings.
Ooh, that's good.
And so point 2 is validate the person's feelings. And because a lot of times people are like, well, shoot, you don't want to support me, because they can only think about their own feelings. Mm-hmm. But what I said was, when I came to you about this room, this is what I've learned over the years, that your feelings were valid. You had a reason to believe. It may have been different than mine, but you had a reason that you wanted to do it. And those feelings were valid. And I had to say that. And had I not acknowledged that your feelings were valid, you would have been held on. You'd have been like,
you're absolutely correct. The way you handled that, I feel like, last week we talked about the steps.
Yeah.
I feel like you used the methodology, the Canyon methodology on me, but it worked.
It worked. We got the room. Now we're doing the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Number three.
And I want to say something too.
Go ahead.
Like, I didn't agree with this room, but what if I would have fought you on it? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't agree doesn't mean that your idea is not a great idea.
Remember what I told you, though. Because we are one, if you had said absolutely not, remember I told you I wouldn't have done it. I would have found another way.
But I'm saying, but what I'm saying is sometimes you have to go against your good sense or you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, you gotta go against.
I'm glad that we can do that for each other.
That's good. That's good stuff. Number 3, seek to understand the person, and then by listening to their perspective. And so that's important because a lot of times people just say their perspective. They don't even want to understand your perspective. But you might have but like this young lady, her mom on her deathbed, I want to become a lawyer, I'm gonna own a firm. Maybe that matters to her. Okay, maybe going to Texas matters to him because his grandfather that always believed in him left everything to him. We have to look at the other person's perspective. Number 4, real quickly. We have to assess the goals, what and why.
What and why?
What are our goals?
Okay, what are our goals?
What are each
why?
One of our goals?
Okay.
And why do we have that goal? Because and so the reason why that's important in a relationship is because Simon Sinek says in his book, The Power of Why, he says people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
That's good.
And he says that it's not the power of why, it's called starting with why. It's powerful. And remember what I sold you on this room? What sold you? It wasn't what I wanted to do. It was why I wanted to do it. It was the why I kept saying, I don't know. Remember I told you, I don't know. I don't know what I just know why I have to do it. And you were like, okay, let's do it. I was like, dang. All right. Number 5 is find common ground. Is whatever common ground, start there. Whenever you start with common ground, because if you start where you disagree.
Give me an example.
All right. So common ground might be, all right, you and I wanted to build a viable business. That was common ground.
Okay.
Now we didn't necessarily want to you didn't want to use this room, but I was like, okay, if I could have approached you like, all right, our goal is to build a viable business. If I don't build it, viable business using this room within 6 months, because that was both of our goals, then let's do something else with it. But I didn't have to approach you like that. But I knew our common ground was to create a sustainable business, which it has. And that's what I always say. Whatever the common ground is.
I like that.
Okay. And I'm almost done. And I'm gonna say number 6 is focus on your growth. Here's the thing, and this is important. The important thing is you following me, you never had to stifle your own growth. Me following you, I never had to stifle my own growth.
But how do you do that simultaneously?
Maybe you can't.
How do I follow and grow?
You can follow and grow.
But how?
I follow.
Like we do it, but how for somebody this is new for them. I just came to you and said, hey, I got this dream. We're really not dreamers. We're 9-to-5ers. And so I have this dream. How do I follow you and still not lose myself?
Okay. So this is the crux of it. How do I follow you and not lose myself? I often say to people, anybody listening, I often say to people, to be in this relationship, if I've got to lose a piece of me to gain a piece of you, that relationship is not the right one. So now
to differ.
We can differ. Now watch. Because now listen, everything I've compromised on in this relationship, I haven't lost myself in the process.
Well, I look at it a little differently.
Give me your country wisdom.
So I was a big procrastinator.
Okay.
I've lost that and gained what you are.
That's not a piece of you.
That was a big part of me.
But did you want to hang on to that?
I didn't even realize that was something that I was until I wasn't anymore. And so, like, you can look at that in different ways to me. Like,
Okay.
I can lose something
that you didn't want,
that I did, like that I didn't need. There are a lot of things that we want that we don't need.
Okay.
To me, you're a little more gentler now. You're a little softer.
You told me I was tender last
That's
week.
not. But I'm
You
just
told me I
saying,
was tender.
you're not as hard and you're not as aggressive as you once were. And I feel like that's because you lost a little that because you took some of mine.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's not losing me, baby. That's something I wanted to keep. See, and let me rephrase what I say there. When you lose a part of you that you want to keep.
Okay.
Okay, because I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Because now I've lost some things along the way that I didn't want to keep, that I shouldn't have kept. I'm okay with losing those things. And I just assume that when I said that, it was things that you would think, no, but you're right.
Okay.
I need to clarify. Things that I wanted to keep. Things I wanted to keep. And I have to lose that.
So say that again with the wanted to keep. Say that whole, when you lose somebody. Say it again.
When you lose something that you want to keep to be in this relationship, then the relationship is probably not for you. Think about how many
Like when
people,
I think about it like that,
right.
yeah.
Think about how many people have diminished themselves to let somebody else's light shine. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people like that.
And that is, you're right. You in the end, you'll live a life of regret.
Yeah.
You will live a life of regret.
And the last one, the last way is every person has to count the cost. You got to count what is it going to cost you? When you leave, when you go, what is it going to cost you? What is it going to cost you? Is it going to cost you your self-esteem? Is it going to cost you your career? Is it going to cost you your kids, your family? I don't know what it's going to cost you, but I tell everybody to count the cost.
Count the cost.
Wow,
that's good.
So I want to leave them tonight. I want to leave them tonight because I just want to talk about two things. Like, y'all, first off, if you're listening to this, we're doing a live show June 22nd in the Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem area. You can go on our link tree, look at it's called Candid Conversations. It's the live version, but it's fun. The live version, it's got music, it's got food, it's got drinks, it's gonna be dope. Get your tickets
today
because it's gonna sell out. Go get your tickets.
You're gonna have the link in the.
The link is in the bio. Get your tickets. Get it through Eventbrite. It's gonna be dope. And then all I want to say tonight is I was gonna do that, but tonight I just wanted to talk about supporting you, supporting me. We ain't got to do the game tonight, but you supporting this right here came out of support. These two games that we read from every week came out of support because you was like, you always asking questions. Why don't you create a game? Why don't you create a game from it?
And I did not know when I woke up the next morning. This is Ken. Like I don't. That's what I say. Well, if I dream out loud, I gotta put my feet to the ground. We were in here laughing and talking one night. He's asking me questions. I said, man, you ask so many questions. You should have a create a game. I woke up the next morning and he had 120 questions that you had done overnight. I was like, what in?
And this was long before everybody else got their game.
I remember that.
It was long before everybody else got these games. Now people got them now, but yeah, that was what 5, 6 years.
Oh wow, that's
6
some years ago. It was before COVID.
Yeah. So it had to be 6 years ago.
And so yeah.
Yeah. So look, last thing, y'all. I want to say thank y'all for joining us. But remember, this show is always sponsored. The way that we communicate, we've learned to communicate. We have created an AI product called the Pocket Communication Coach. This show is sponsored by, and every month we get new subscribers. And the Pocket Communication Coach is amazing because think about it. You may not know how to say something, but you can type it into my AI software and it'll tell you how to say it. You want to talk to your boss? You want to tell your boss something? You want to tell your mama something because you just can't talk to mama any kind of way, but you can talk to her. Type it in, what you want to say to mama, and the Pocket Communication Coach will spit it out just like, and mama be like, okay, I could see that.
If you want to, let me know what I'm going to say that.
Okay. Go ahead.
So if you want to tell your husband's side piece something, you can put it in the Pocket Communication.
I didn't even know where you was going with this. Woo!
Put it in the Pocket Communication.
All right, y'all. But I won't say thank y'all for joining us. And Ned, I just want to say to you, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for always being there, even when I had some fucked up ass ideas.
A lot of, I don't think we take each other for granted on purpose, but we just expect that the other one is going to always support what we do. And I appreciate your push for me because I would never jump on my own. And so I appreciate your push. I love you so much.
Well, we're going to keep pushing.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's our show for the week, and we appreciate y'all. All right? And y'all have a great week. And until the next time, peace.
We out.
We out.
Is you finished or is you done?